So for this week's Monday makeup, we're showcasing dewy skin with that sun-kissed freckles look. So Josie, what are you going to be showcasing for us today?
So obviously I feel like at the moment we're all lacking in our vitamin D. We all want a little bit of sun. We like to look sun-kissed. So as Alexa said, we're going to be showing you how to get that nice bronze dewy look and adding a few faux freckles. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. I'll show you a couple of different ways. So you can either do it with like a pen or like a brown pencil, something that obviously is more brown, not black. And then, or you can use like a more of a bronzer, so something which has a little bit more of that redder undertone. Because if you think when you naturally get sun kissed and the freckles come out, they're usually that more like cinnamony tan color rather than like brown. But using the two together, you can get like a really nice sort of more dimensional natural freckle look. So I will start by going in with my pen. And for this is also a really good trick if you want to have like fresh looking skin. Sometimes what I like to do is, as you can see here, I've got like a couple of moles, and I actually do have like quite a predominant just one freckle randomly on the side of my face. And what I sometimes like to do is I'll actually go once I've done my foundation and my makeup, is I'll actually go over the top of them just lightly, and it kind of makes them a little bit more obvious, so then it looks a little bit more like skin. And then up here where I do have the little freckle, I'll just start by pressing that on the top there and dabbing it with my finger. And then you can just start by kind of just going quite sporadically. And obviously you can add as little or as many as you like. You can go like all the way around the face if you want that kind of look. But I'm just going to sort of take it where mine would naturally sort of come up in the sun. So for me, that's the top of my cheekbones and across my nose.
So I'm going to go in with the Iredale retractable brow pencil. So this one is really nice because it's like a powdery finish, which is what we want this look to be all about. So I'm using shade brunette, and I'm going to go in like Josie over sort of the bridge of my nose and the high points of the face where the sun-kissed look would appear. But what I wanted to discuss today is a lot of people always ask, what makes your skin so dewy? Is it the makeup that you use, or is it the skincare? And to be honest, it is a little bit of both. More often than not, it is the skin pushing through the makeup. So absolutely, it's all about getting the skin right first. But today we're also going to showcase a couple of products that can really just emphasize a radiant glow, because definitely in winter times, our skin becomes a little bit more sluggish, a little bit more dull and lackluster. So having these like really nice little bits in your makeup bag can really just help to emphasize that. It's really nicely coming together on your face.
So it always look a little bit crazy, like you're literally drawing dots on your face. I remember I was doing this once, my boyfriend was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, you'll see the bigger picture.
Oh.
But going back to what you were saying, Alexis, when people are like, "Oh, I really want that fresh, dewy look," and absolutely, like it you can achieve it through makeup, but it honestly does start with good skincare as well. Like if you think about, if you were a painter and you were painting on a canvas, you don't just go straight onto that canvas. You put on your primer first, and your skincare is essentially your primer if you're wanting like your makeup to look as fresh and as dewy as possible.
It all starts with like how much your skin is hydrated. And you know, some people have oily skin naturally, so they're going to have a nice dewy glow anyway. But then some of us are drier, particularly this time of year.
Yeah.
And it's a case of just rejigging your routine, but also making sure that the makeup that you're putting on top of your skin is more of that dewy, not so matte finish, even to the point where powder comes in, because we are going to be applying powder over these freckles. So with Jane Iredale, you have either the pressed formula or you have the loose formula. Loose is going to give you that dewy finish. Pressed is going to give you coverage, but also a matte finish. So just look at your choices when you're putting on your makeup as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because quite often as well, like sometimes I can get customers come to counter and they like a full coverage matte finish, but and they always say to me, oh, my skin just looks really cakey though when I do it. And quite often sometimes they'll have extremely dry skin, so obviously sometimes you need to pack that skin full of the moisture first, and then you can still get that really nice matte finish. And the same with like oilier skin types, you just maybe would use oil-free products instead of whacking on a facial oil before you then go in with your dewy makeup, because then you will have a little bit of a slip and slide situation which we don't want.
We do not want.
So definitely a good powder, whichever one you decide to go for, is always the best one to go for.
Definitely. So how are your freckles coming along?
They're coming, I don't know if you can really see on camera, I've just done it really lightly with my pen, just across a little bit up and onto here as well. I'm now just going to go in just to get a little bit of more like definition, bit more depth. I'm going to go in now with, this is a Bobbi Brown bronzer. This is actually a really fab one if you do like faux freckles, because like I said, it's that more cinnamon undertone, more of that sun-kissed, just been in the sun, you come in from the beach day, you're getting ready to go out for your cocktails in the evening. So yeah, I'm going to take the dream, literally just thinking of that day. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of this on a really, really tiny, this is just an eyeliner brush, but something that's quite a fine nib. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that. And then again, just go all over. You don't have to be neat with this at all. But it will then just give you, because the pen and the smaller pens give you quite like a fine freckle, whereas this can give you a few more like chunkier ones, which...
I'm actually going to go in with a lip liner. So I'm going to go in with the Jane Iredale Spice Lip Liner, just like what Josie says, to add a little bit of definition on just certain areas, because at the moment I've kept my skin very dewy. I'm working with cream tones at the moment, so I haven't put any powder on. So this is just going to emphasize certain areas to make it look a little bit more natural and authentic. It's almost like I can feel like I've been abroad.
I know, in the sun, but still making sure you wear your SPF 50.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. It's already on. And for guys that already have freckles, this is going to make it so much easier, because you can just literally follow the pattern of
yeah,
you have them. But for those that are almost guesstimating where they would be, just think high points of the face. So center, you may want to do sporadic ones, like you say, like on the forehead, around the cheek area, or even get a photo. Grab a photo online and try and mimic what they're doing.
You know, in the summer when my freckles do tend to come out more, weirdly, they go all the way across my nose and my cheeks, which is cute, but then on my forehead, it just goes off to one side. Like I don't get any on the other side, so I tend to actually balance it out, and then I'll draw in a few on this just to make it look even, otherwise it just looks bizarre. And like you can buy like the freckle pens, but to be honest, I think they're just a little bit gimmicky. Like there's so many other things you could use.
Oh gosh, yeah, if you've got like a lip liner, if you've got a bronzer, if you've got just a nice eyeliner brush, you're sorted, really.
You are.
But what I am now going to move on to, because I feel like my freckles are all in place. I'm going to now go in with the loose powder that I was talking about. So I'm just now going to go over sort of the T-zone area, and I'm just going to lightly dust the powder everywhere. This is in shade Latte, so it's actually a colour as opposed to a translucent. But if you have a loose translucent powder, then feel free to use it at this point. I'm just using it to give myself a bit of a bronzed colour, like I've been on holiday.
Yes, I'm actually going to take a little bit of a bit of a different tone bronzer. This is the Golden Light from Bobbi Brown, just to add a little bit more warmth to my cheeks. The medium, again, it's a different colour, so even though we're popping this over the top, just underneath the cheekbones there and top of the forehead, just to give us that nice
dewy glow.
Dewy glow. And also I always like to take a little bit of bronzer just on the bridge of my nose, because again, if you think about when you get hit by the sun, we tend to get like a little bit of a brown nose.
Absolutely. I'm also going to just introduce a hydration spray from Iredale. So this should be used after every layer that you've done on the skin. So because I've now just gone over with a powder, I'm now going to set that in place. So I simply do 3 strokes down the face. There are different ones for different skin types. I'm using the pomist one. This is for like a normal to dry skin type.
Gorge.
But instantly I feel like it's made my skin more dewy and more glowing and hydrated. And the fact is this can be used like throughout the day. So if you are feeling like a bit of cabin fever, we're stuck indoors all day, instant refresh, hydration spray.
Keep it in the fridge as well. That's a really good tip, especially in the summer.
Yes.
That's the best. Now gonna go in with, this is the new Hyaluronic Happy Kisses from Charlotte Tilbury. That's basically like a lip balm but with pigmentation. So, and obviously when we're going for that glowy look, I know I like a little bit more of a glossy lip, so I've got a little bit of lip liner on already, and I'm just going to dab that in the center of my lips. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take a little bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use that as a little bit of a glowy blush, because then everything matches.
Oh, what a tip. I like that.
Because we're going over top of the freckles that we put down, again, it just will help everything sort of melt together, so it gives it much more of that natural finish.
I'm going to now go in with the Peaches and Cream palette that we showcased in last week's Monday makeup. But with this, I'm actually going to just use these 2 shades just at the end, the lighter colours, for more of a highlight, because I think highlighter is a great way of keeping the skin dewy. So we're just going to go in on the actual high points of the face. So cheekbone, brow bone, tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, and it just will make the skin feel more radiant in an instant. And then, like Josie, I have actually picked a gloss shade that matches these pink and peachy tones very nicely. So I've already gone in with actually the lip liner that we used for the freckles, Spice lip liner. And I'm now going to use Soft Peach Pure Lip Gloss just to add that shimmer and shine.
Love that colour. A little bit with my setting spray again, just to seal everything in.
Me too. Let's spray.
Oh, just instantly. Whew.
And if you find that there's any unruly shine in areas, you can just go back in with that loose powder. But who doesn't like a bit of shine?
The glowier the better, I always say.
Oh, me too.
But that's just me.
Glowing skin is always in.
Yes. I love that.
Yes. Oh, I love this look. It's just like really fresh, something different, and just something to make us feel like summer is almost upon us.
Yeah, and it's also just a bit of fun just to play with, like, adding a few freckles, see what you think.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Thank you. It's been fun as always.
Yeah, I've definitely learned some tips that I'm going to take away. And thank you so much for everybody that voted for this week, because it's your votes that count and make you have the video choices that you want. And we have got a nice list coming together of ones to do for the future. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yes. See you later, love. Bye.